friends, and welcome to PlumeriaPlay. The new getaway system that comes with Adventure Awaits is quite frankly confusing and overwhelming. It's a lot to look at, it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to customize. So today what we're gonna do is go through and break down the getaway system step by step. We're gonna break this into two parts. One, setting up a getaway for a custom venue, and two, taking your Sims on a custom getaway. So without further ado, let's hop into it and break down this confusing system. We're gonna start with actually making your own custom venue for starters. So while you're in build mode, if you click this little house icon, you can go to your lot type and change it over to custom venue. The only thing required for a custom venue is a sink, a waste disposal, so like a trash can, and a toilet. Meaning you can basically make anything you want other than that. But by all technical means, this is a custom venue. I'm not actually gonna build anything for you today. What we're really gonna look at is this configure schedule preset. And here's where it gets confusing. So under the select scheduled preset, there's obviously a few already ready for you to go, which is really nice if you're wanting to make something like this, but there's so many more things that you can do with this getaway system. I actually think the getaway system is one of the more functional systems we've ever had in The Sims. But you're able to take an existing getaway, an existing preset, and take it and run with it if you want to change up people's roles, if you want to change up outfits. But maybe for the sake of example, let's just completely make our own from scratch, because once you know how to make one from scratch, you'll know how to customize everything in these pre-existing ones. So let's just, for an example, since we're in October and I'm in the mood, let's make this a Fall Fest getaway. So here at the top where it just says custom preset, you can name it to be whatever you want. So whatever you're making, you can name it that. Now we're gonna head over to current roles, and you can get wildly specific with this. You could just have staff. You could have a different kind of staff member for every little thing. And since we're doing this kind of tutorial style, we're gonna go pretty in depth. So let's have a festival host. And then once you type that in, you have to determine how many you want to have. So you can have multiples if you want. I think for this case, we'll just have the one. And then if you click down on details, you can do role criterias, meaning you could kind of filter through Sims to make sure they have exactly what you're looking for. Maybe, for example, we would want our host to have at least level 2 charisma, and maybe we would want them to be at least an adult of some sort. And then you can add role activity. So I feel like our host probably just needs to be friendly with the people. Maybe they can give speeches so it looks like they're announcing winners or something. And I think for our host, that's all we'll do. And it'll allow you to either save as a new role or save over existing role. In our case, we're editing a blank role, so we're gonna save over existing. And then we're gonna just keep doing that for the other roles. So let's have a food vendor. We have a few options here, and this will depend on just how you decide to set it up and what packs you have. I think for our food vendor, I'm gonna tell them to tend coffee and tea bar counters, because I like the idea of like coffee and pastries at a fall festival. And I think we just need one. We can add somebody else to be the petting zookeeper, and their job will be, you guessed it, to care for pets. I'm gonna just do care for animals for them. Let's create one more role for staff, and this will be the groundskeeper. And they will do home chores, fix objects, and I'm gonna put clean. I think do home chores kind of encapsulates that, but just in case. So now we have our 4 staff members that I think will probably be enough for this purpose of our fake fall festival. You can do more with this. Like if you really like this role and maybe you wanna save it for later, you can click save to role library here. And if you click down on this role library, they have a ton already saved. But now our festival host is included in there, so you can save your own roles. You can obviously look through all their roles if you just want to do this a little bit quicker. Now, some of theirs are extremely specific to the getaways that they have set up, but that doesn't mean that you can't find really good role setups in here that maybe will make your life a lot easier so you don't have to go in and do all of this individually. Staff, for example, if you just need a sim to clean, that's all the staff is set up to do. You can just add that into your getaway, easy peasy. So just know that that's there, but we're talking customization here. And then we need one more role, and we're gonna make this the max amount, which is 8. And these are gonna be the festival customers. We're gonna have them care for animals, so it looks like they're doing the petting zoo. Maybe we'll have a campfire. I feel like that's very Fall Fest. Fall activities is very fall fest, of course. I want them to do pumpkin carving, and I think the pumpkin carving station is considered woodworking, so I'm gonna put that down just to emulate that. And we definitely want them to pick their own pumpkin, so we're gonna click on Tend and Harvest Garden. And so that's gonna be our customers' roles. Now you can make this as detailed or as simple as you want to. So let's say that we're gonna go simple. We'll just put fall activities for the start here, and we'll add all of the roles and have them do the things that they're meant to do. And you could call that setup done. You can say, I've done what I've needed to do. This will work as a fall fest. I can take my Sims and enjoy it how I see fit. And other Sims will also be doing fall festival themed things. Or if you want to get more specific, you can break this down into a schedule. So maybe we don't want to start our fall fest quite at 6 a.m. So you can change the start time here to any time that you want to. I'm going to put it at 9 a.m. Just be aware that the schedule works on a 3-hour basis. So if we put this one at 9, the next thing cannot start until noon, which I think is an important thing to note because I didn't really realize that at first. But let's just say maybe for the start, we can care for animals. So we'll start off with our petting zoo. So we'll have our host just be nice. Our groundskeeper will do what our groundskeeper does. And all we'll have our customers do is take care of the animals, and maybe just so they're nice to each other, we'll have them be friendly. So our next time slot is at noon, and I think what I'd like them to do then is to eat something. So maybe we'll just pop down, have lunch. We'll leave the campfire because maybe they want to grill a hot dog on the campfire, and then we'll also add in to eat. Everyone else will still do their normal jobs. And then at 3 o'clock, maybe what we want to do is our pumpkin and maybe apple picking could be fun. So we'll tend and harvest the garden as the main task. And maybe add in like nectar making, like you can make your own apple juice. And then after you pick your pumpkin, you can go carve it at the woodworking table. And maybe we want to do that for quite some time. So why don't we change the 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock? And we'll end the Fall Fest with a nice little campfire situation. They can go take care of the animals again if they want to, and just generally participate in fall activities. And so now we've made a whole little Fall Fest. Let's say you absolutely adore this and you want to save it as a preset. You can click this little save button right here. And then if we make any changes to this, we can also save over the existing preset or delete the preset completely if you decide this is not a good fall fest. So that's the basics of how to set up a getaway. Now let's kind of get into the nitty gritty of it. So under details, you can also give all of your people outfits. There's this outfit with a wrench on it. If you click on that, you're able to set if they just wear their everyday outfits here, if they maybe come in their party wear. Maybe you make a pool getaway and you want them to show up in their swimwear. You can also have them all dressed in a certain style and color. You can also just let them wear whatever they want, so they're normal outfits. Or you can set up a custom outfit for adults, and I guess teens also fall under adults and also children. So if you click on one of these, we're gonna head into casts. And from there, you can quite literally make all the outfits you want. You can do it for each category. You can make multiple outfits. I think if you make multiple, it just cycles through the different outfits. And then once you hit the check button, it'll take you back to build mode where you were. Now, this is extremely tedious if you want to do this. It is really cool for gameplay and storytelling, but you would have to set up every single outfit for every single category. And I don't know if you happen to notice, but under the mannequin cast, there is no copy paste. So when I say it's tedious, I mean it's tedious. Tedious is not necessarily bad. Customization is awesome. It just takes time. But if you want a little customization without too much customization, you can use the style and color, or you can just use the style, or you can just use the color. So those checkboxes are available to be checked one or the other. I actually did not notice that until just now, so that's kind of cool. But let's say for your customers, you just want them to show up in their everyday outfits and not change into anything crazy. You can just mark it like that and then hit the check mark and they are set. Now you may be thinking 8 customers is not enough. I need more customers. What you can do is save this to your role library, and then you'll have another set of customers, and then you can add these customers back. So you can add them to your current roles. They will add them as like customers 1 just to distinguish the difference. The only thing for that is you have to add the role and then change everything that you changed for the first set of customers. So once again, very tedious, but you can do it. I made a sports camp where I wanted there to be children and teens, but I wanted there to be more Sims. So I have a children category and a teens category. And I also wanted them to do different things on different hours. So as you can imagine, it takes some time, but I do think it's kind of worth it, especially if it's a getaway you think maybe you'll visit often. Now, the thing is, even without a specific schedule, they should still be participating in these activities. So it might even be nice to have one set of customers that is on a very specific schedule and doing very specific things, and another set of customers that's just generally doing fall tasks, and you'll still have more Sims at your lot. You know what I mean? So it kind of works out either way. So that's how you customize a custom venue lot for a getaway. But I think it's important to note that getaways do not have to happen at custom venues. Custom venues are the only way to keep the schedule attached to it though. But let's say we wanted this fall fest to happen at somebody's house. That way there's actually animals here, because as far as I know, there's no way to get animals at the fall fest unless somebody lives there. I'll have to test that. Let me know in the comments if you know that. I just don't think I can throw random sheep on a lot though. I mean, technically you could, because you could get them out of debug, but I digress. Like if you wanted people to care for horses and stuff, it'd have to be at a lot that somebody lived at, because they would need to have horses. But now let's go over actually going on a getaway with your Sims and all the different ways that you can do this. The first way you can do this is from your phone, and you just go under travel. Under travel, they have a few things already set up. You can plan a fitness retreat, you can plan a romantic competition, and you can plan an outdoor kids camp. And those are the lots that exist in Gibby Point. So it'll automatically set you up to take you to those getaways in this world. Now you can change it. So let's say we're gonna plan the fitness retreat. You're gonna get an extremely similar panel to the one that we were just looking at, except now we've got a couple other things that we can choose from. So automatically it's setting me up to go to Revive and Thrive for 3 nights with no end time. I think if you don't choose an end time, your Sims will just come back exactly 72 hours after they leave for the 3 nights, and like so on and so forth for the other amount of days. But if you wanted your Sim to come back home at 11 a.m. because that's when a normal hotel checkout time is, you can. If you want a fitness retreat but you don't want to go to Revive and Thrive, you can pick a different custom venue if maybe you found a creator that built one and you want to go to theirs. Under this second panel, you can see the custom roles as well as the schedule, and you are able to edit this not only now, but even once the getaway starts. If you want to edit any of these details, you can. You're also able to go in and edit the details like the role criteria and the activities and even the outfits if you wanted to. So for this specific lot, they have the athletic outfit set. So your Sims will just be in their athletic outfit pretty much the whole time unless they're going to sleep or something. And then you can see the roles they have set up with a fitness trainer and with the retreat leader. But essentially you could change this. If you don't want this to be the Sim that's your retreat leader, pick a different one. If you want to choose the guests who are going to be with you, you can do that as well. So maybe you want to go on a fitness retreat with your friends. My Sim doesn't have any friends, but if your Sim does, then you could do that. And then if you want to change the schedule at any point in time, you can also do that. So maybe if you wanted to do another workout here instead of free time, you could swap that over to be a workout instead. And the thing is, you may notice they have this here and not anything on the retreat guest. And that's because whatever the main thing is what your Sims will do. So if you wanted to, for good measure, throw a workout in here again, you can. It's just a little redundant. This is the main activity. And if your Sims have other time, they'll do these extra activities. Or like maybe if you want the workout to be swimming, you could add that in and that would be the preferred form of working out. I also think a very, very important thing to note is at the very bottom of this thing on all 3 pages, it lets you know how much the getaway is going to cost, and it will kick you out if you don't have enough money. So it'll show you right here the cost per day times your total days and your total, but they'll literally give you the boot. If you don't have enough simoleons, you're out of there. So make sure you have enough money before going on your getaway. You can also plan getaways from your calendar. So say maybe you want to go on a little vacation on Saturday. If you click on that day, you can scroll down. I have all the packs installed right now, so I'm sorry, but you can scroll down to add getaway. And then you can choose your custom getaway from there. But it's important to note that you do not have to go to a custom venue for a getaway. If you wanted to have your getaway at somebody else's house, they will not stop you. But let's talk about one more thing. I think this is broken. So you're also able to set up recurring getaways, or at least you're supposed to be able to set up recurring getaways. So you could say every Monday we go to the playground at 3 o'clock and then we come back home at 7 o'clock. And if you select reoccurring, that should post on every single Monday. That's how it's intended to work. So let's just say you want to go to the playground and do outdoor recreation. That works for me. And when we hit check, it's supposed to put it on all of the days, but as you can see, it doesn't. I have reported the bug because this is the third save file I've tried it in and it still hasn't worked. And I have no mods installed at the moment. So in theory, if they fix that, you'll be able to set up just like reoccurring schedules essentially. But until then, if you want that, you'd have to go in and add it on every single day, unfortunately. And then the last thing I really want to go over is the getaway rules. So there are a lot of available rules, and there's two kinds of rules. There's elimination rules, and then what I think is basically another form of a lot trait. So instead of a lot trait though, it's a getaway trait. Like a grind set mindset makes it where your Sims want to craft and work and be more productive. Hardcore mode makes your needs and hunger and hygiene decrease faster. House of Grudges makes your Sims not like each other. Love is in the air makes your Sims more flirty kind of vibe. But then there's these eliminations where they will kick your Sim out, or not your Sim, but they will kick a Sim out if the requirements are not met. So let's say you do a child Sim elimination, you can choose which category gets eliminated. We don't have rules. I'll put it on, here we'll do outdoors camp. So you can choose who's gonna get eliminated, which in this case, it'll be the campers. And then you can click elimination to choose either lowest progress or lowest score loses. And then at 11 a.m. every day, somebody will get the boot until there is only one Sim left. So just know if you do this, you run the risk of getting kicked out of the getaway. But I do think there's some fun to be had with that. If you're wondering what any of these are, you can just hover over them and it will give you a description of what happened. So I'm not gonna read everything to you here because I don't want to bore you, but it will tell you exactly what it's looking for and what skills need to be built for you to stay in the getaway or what these effects have on your Sims. Let's quickly go on a getaway and I'm gonna show you some of the mechanics once you get there. So we're gonna just go to the fitness retreat. This is a fitness girly here. We're gonna stay where they want us to go. I'm gonna just do it for one night. All of the schedule is totally fine by me. And then why don't we let's do grind set mindset. I think that one might be nice here for the retreat guest. I don't know if a fitness retreat is like where you pull in grind set mindset, but that's neither here nor there. So once you are on your getaway, you'll have this little panel in the top. You can open and close it. You can cancel the getaway completely from right here. Or if you want to edit anything in the getaway, you can click these three dots and it will pull up the full panel and you can edit anything like we have kind of looked at already. So if you want to add another role, if you want to change the schedule, if you want to change your Sims outfits, if you want to take off grind set mindset, you can kind of change it as much or as little as you want while you play. Which I kind of like because honestly, I feel like right now, all of us are kind of trying to figure out where the line is, like what's too much, what's not enough, what are my Sims actually going to cooperate with. And so in your testing, it'll be nice to go ahead and change it instead of just having to suffer through a whole getaway where something isn't working. But just to show you, she's got full autonomy right now and we're just going to let her do what she's going to do. So she's supposed to be working out and now she's going to go work out. I didn't tell her to do that. It's really nice, I think, actually, how the Sims do what they're supposed to do, because I think it's nice to see other Sims doing what they're supposed to do. I will say in that form, the getaway system works extremely well. Even when it's time to have breakfast, she went and got breakfast as soon as the retreat leader had it made. Oh, look, she's in Discovery University and she's doing her homework here. Oh, I'm getting the boot. I forgot to cheat my money. I didn't even get to show you what I wanted to show you. Okay, well, here's the example about how they'll kick you out if you don't have enough money. They're gonna send me home. I'm done. The way that I was like, make sure you have enough money to then proceed to go and not have enough money is so funny, actually. Oh my God, my game just crashed. Okay, well, that's good. In the Sims defense, I've been playing a lot of Sims today and it's probably a little tired of me, which is fair. Motherload. Okay, now we can afford the getaway. And I was correct. It does kick you out exactly 24 hours after you start the getaway for every single day. So if you don't pick an end time, you'll leave at this time that you came, if that makes sense. And then once the getaway is over, you have the option to extend your getaway. You can choose the number of days, a lot like the vacation panel, or you can cancel and end your getaway. I do not like actually how cancel and end is above the extend number, because you'd have to hit that and then hit extend. And I just realized that too, but we're gonna cancel and end. And then once your getaway is complete, you'll usually get some kind of special reward, but I find that they vary pretty heavily and they don't always make sense. The last time I was here, I got a reward about like taste, which is weird because we were at a fitness retreat. But now I got a special reward from Grindset Mindset. Oh, check your household inventory or notification wall to see the reward. Wait, what did we get? I did not get anything. I checked my household inventory and my personal inventory and we got nothing. Okay. Well, that's fine. But that is a full breakdown on how the getaway systems work and how you do the setup, as well as how the custom venues work. I feel like there's so many things that you can do with the getaway system. I am going to be posting a video talking about different ideas for getaways, so be looking for that. I'd like to give a special shout out to my YouTube channel members. Thank you so much for your extra support. It really means the world to me. If you'd also like to become a channel member, you can find it in the description below. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have the best rest of your day and I will see you in the next one. Bye.